Hey guys, long time, no see. 24 hours just seems like too long. So, who's the better world champion, Drew McIntyre or Jon Moxley? Let's talk about it. It's almost the end of the year, and it was a weird one for wrestling. From no crowds to Legends retirement, it's had its ups and downs. However, one thing is for sure, that we've had two great world champions for the bulk of the year. Drew McIntyre had his first reign of 213 days, winning his first world title after defeating Brock Lesnar, finally being the top guy, while Jon Moxley became the second ever AEW world champion after beating Le Champion, reviving his career. Jon Moxley would hold this belt for 277 days. It's important to compare the two men as they both had long reigns, and they were both the best babyface champions in recent history. As far as the ideal champion is concerned, it would be Drew, because he looked and wrestled like a champion. People argue that Jon Moxley just didn't have that classy feel about him. He entered, and so did the barbed wire and thumbtacks. Then the chairs are set up. Rinse and repeat. Drew has wrestled more extensively than Moxley, and while he's had lesser varieties of opponents, it's because they ran out of opponents to feed him. And another important factor that has to be considered here, Drew has done something that hasn't been done with the WWE title in years. He brought some of the prestige back. In terms of storylines, it was initially McIntyre, Rumble to Mania against Brock, and his feud with Orton, where they both had a great run. Drew and Randy's SummerSlam match and the beginning of their feud can be considered better than the start of Moxley's. But then, Drew had a 4-month feud with Orton, which had its high points, but also had some lows and ended up dragging. They had a great match at SummerSlam with a clever finish and a really good match on the episode of Raw, where Drew won back the belt. Even the Hell in the Cell match was good, but the ambulance match wasn't really needed at all. Moxley, however, would go on a feud with MJF, which would pick up his reign, and he went on to have what was honestly one of my favorite matches of the year, the I Quit match with Eddie Kingston. Now, all that's good, right? But Jon Moxley, in my opinion, is quite comfortably the better champion. More varied opponents, and has killer promos consistently. Also, he was champ of the entire company, not just one of two. From winning the title from Jericho in a feel-good moment to having banger successful defenses against Brody, MJF, Darby Allin, and Eddie. And then to the perfect end at the hands of Kenny. It was pure perfection. Plus, the fact that almost every match was a fresh one, except for Full Gear. And they all had quite unique finishes, which made it even better. And I can't fail to mention that Drew's reign was marked by the lowest Raw ratings ever. While it was still higher than that of Jon Moxley's company, he isn't the only person to blame for that. The world champion on the show is typically supposed to be the main draw. At the end of the day, they both performed wonderfully. Jon Moxley proved that he can carry a company on his back and succeed. And Drew proved that he was the star that Vince predicted he was all those years ago. It's honestly so tragic that such great champions were forced to wrestle without live audiences. Moxley did have a few matches before everything happened and the audiences were gone, but Drew never got that magical moment. And I really do hope that one day, when everything settles down, they can be crowned again as champion and perform in front of crowds. So, who do you guys think the better world champion was? Drew McIntyre or Jon Moxley? Leave your comments down below because I'd love to know what you think. And that's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!